speaking of Jay being right.
What you was right about, Lord?
So recently, last week we saw Summer Walker.
Oh God.
We saw Summer Walker get into some shit. And let's just play the audio. I'm gonna get y'all thoughts on this. Hold up.
I'm not gonna bother y'all. Like, you can buy me a new phone so she don't know the number and save it under Pizza Hut for all I care. I'm not gonna post it. Nothing. I'm not gonna bother y'all. Like, you can buy me a new phone so she don't know the number and save it under Pizza, because y'all was never gonna stop each other anyway. That's why I just like kind of just our shit up, because she was acting crazy. She's always acting crazy. She be fighting people and everything, calling the flower shop looking for the address. Like, I don't have time for that shit. I can't have a serious relationship with someone when they baby mama.
Okay.
Look, she was it was raining and everything. Did you hear the raindrops in the back?
That sounds like an intro to a song.
So
he probably put on his next mixtape. He ain't shit if he do.
let's go back, right? Because I asked, I said, yo, at what point are we going to start looking at Summer Walker and say, maybe you were the problem? Because we talked about this not too long ago, 2 weeks ago, right? And I'm like, it's always somebody else's fault with her. When are we going to start looking at Summer Walker and be like, you the problem? And you was like...
I said you can't blame a victim for
because
being a victim.
Because the victim is always a victim no matter what.
Because True. An abuser, because if you're abusing somebody, you're the abuser. Like, and it doesn't negate from.
And I said outside of that, because that made so, because that's what y'all be doing. That's true.
That's
and
the reality.
And as a man, as a good man, I strive to be, I can't challenge that, right? Because, yeah.
Because that's a fact.
An abuser's always an abuser. Yeah. But we ain't talking about that. We talk about Summer Walker, and it's always an issue.
Okay.
So when y'all see this, when you see this,
I feel like those are. But see, before you say there's always an issue. What issues are you talking about? Relationship shit? Yes. Okay, I'm about to say because there's always an issue could look so many different ways.
So when you hear this, right? He's
talking directly to me because he sent it to me with the crying laughing emoji. Ha ha ha! I'm like, boy.
Do your perspective change?
I feel like two things can exist. Because I feel like I'm not gonna. I feel like when we talk about that's a general thing. I feel like a lot of times. So in that perspective, the previous conversation, I feel like it's opposite of this conversation. What I will say is that, do I think that she wrong? Yes. Do I think that, that's a terrible way to move? Of course. I feel like these are the same women that you complain about, and now you're becoming one. So I think that that's wild for sure. I'm not gonna. Let me go ahead and ruffle your feathers a little bit.
Here come the excuses.
No, not an excuse.
And the justifications.
No, not an excuse or justification. I'm going to say the way that they tie in is because a lot of times, a lot of people who are victims of abuse become abusers. And so it happens a lot. We see it in R. Kelly. Unfortunately, he was molested when he was young, and he molested other people. It happens a lot of times because that's what you taught. That's where you deviate. I think in this instance, it's also a thing of like, for her as a woman, she feels like, I've been disappointed. I've been hurt. I don't want to be in that position no more. So how do I avoid that? I become the person that causes the pain. I don't become the person that receives it. Yeah. So unfortunately, it then turns around and you become a villain in someone else's story.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism. And this is in no way to excuse. I'm just trying to.
You could be wrong. No. So that's the thing. You can be wrong and have justification. Bane and Batman is wrong as hell, but we understand what he was trying to say. Like most villains are wrong as fuck. You wrong, but we understand.
Yeah,
why.
I'm not gonna validate that because one thing about it, I hate to see a woman down bad. Get up, sister. I really do. Get up. But at the same time, that's not like her consistent thing. Like previously with her relationship, because she's pretty open. Like we kind of know.
Summer Walker? We don't know if that's not her consistent thing because it just came out.
Okay, well I'm talking about based off of what we've seen, right?
Okay.
So what we've seen is she's gotten cheated on a lot, right? So that's what we've seen. So that's all we know. We can only talk about the things that we know, right?
Okay.
So what we've seen is she's been cheated on a lot, right? And now it's kind of like she had the opportunity to kind of not give a fuck and not be in a position where she could be cheated on. So she's like, and she also, if you kind of listen to the new album, she kind of told us that this is what she was on now. Like I'm dating niggas, I'm dating niggas for money now. This is what, fuck that. I'm not, fuck love. You right? And that's like kind of like where she's at right now. And I think that a lot of people can relate to that sentiment of being like, bro, I keep trying. I've been on the straight and narrow. I've been doing all the right things, and I'm not getting nothing but fucked over. Fuck it. I'm just finna have fun. I'm not finna give a fuck about nobody else but myself. A lot of men think like that. A lot of women think like that. That's a very common statement, right? However, I do think that it's like, that's when you have to look internally and be like, am I going to now become the thing that I hate?
Mhm.
Or am I going to use this as a time to grow and move on and do better? That's a personal decision.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I look at it like, I think of like The Boy That Cried Wolf. And it's like,
No, because see,
What?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you elaborate. But before you even say it, I just want you to understand that The Boy That Cried Wolf did the bullshit before, not after.
Yeah, that's not.
So this is a response.
Thing.
It wasn't this is a reaction. It wasn't the main action.
I understand that. I do think like actions like this just take away your validity.
Mm.
Like, I'm not saying that she's wrong or right. Honestly, I don't even give a damn. I just brought it up for y'all to talk about. To be honest, I'm gonna be real. But when I look at it, it's the same thing I think about. I ain't even about to say that name. They gonna kill me.
Oh.
I was gonna say Meg. But I'm like, you say these things and then we see what happens, and it's like we can't ignore that. That doesn't mean that she didn't get cheated on, right? That doesn't mean that niggas ain't do it wrong. But it's like now we're seeing the character of you, and it's like, yo.
I'm about to say that's what you're talking about. You talking about character.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
But that's something that we talk about all the time though.
But that don't mean just because you do a bad thing doesn't mean
I was about
that
to say,
it's
you talk about
justified for
grace.
somebody to do you right.
Right.
I mean, do you wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying it, so and I don't want that to get misconstrued. It's just, as a human, when I look at it, now I do have to think twice about things. It's like, even think about it. Meg said she went on Oprah or Gayle King and said she didn't have sex with Tory Lanez, right? We can understand why she would say that, but then we have to acknowledge the fact that you lied, right? You did lie. Can we understand it for sure?
We can. But you are also the person that always be preaching grace every damn day.
No,
you just said it 20
1,000,000%.
minutes
No,
ago.
a million. I'm
If I
not
make a mistake.
No, I'm not saying that you're wrong. It's just now when I look at this, now I'm thinking about every other thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to move the go. I'm not trying to do none of that. Now I think about, were you really telling the truth about all this anxiety stuff? Were you when you talk
What
about
the hell
this?
does got to do with anxiety?
No.
Why y'all trying to-
Okay, so
When we talk about character,
So I've seen a lot of people say that, right?
Those are the things that people, when that first came out, we was like, yo, you ain't got no anxiety. You
But
this and
the
that.
thing
And we
is-
shouldn't have said that.
A lot of people said that in the comments. I was trying to figure out what was the correlation.
don't
I
got
didn't even
nothing to
see
do
this.
with
I
nothing.
swear. But I swear, and maybe y'all can speak to it from I'm gonna just give a ignorant take because I don't know. I'm not trying to say I'm right in no aspect. I'm just saying this is the first thing that came to my mind. When you first said you had anxiety about stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
People were like, well, you were a stripper. How can you have anxiety? That's just an excuse, right? You talk about the cheating thing, and I'm like, yo, well, how many times is it going to occur and it not be you, right? So now when I see this, I'm not saying it's right or wrong or it can't be separate. Now I'm thinking like, well, this how you was moving behind the closed doors before. We ain't see this. Now we see this. It's something new that's introduced. Is all of the other things true or not? Because now I gotta second question your decision making. I got a second guess your actions because now I see who you are. And I'm not saying that it can't be separate, but now it would raise a flag like,
I think what you're
that's it.
talking about is like
That's it.
it's something with character, right? But those things have nothing to do with the other.
Yeah.
Her anxiety has nothing to do with her trying to be a side piece.
Like, at all.
They don't
It's
align.
not about anxiety. It's about the fact that you might be
being
quote,
honest or
unquote,
dishonest.
Right. If for the people that are listening, quote unquote, are you just using anxiety as an excuse to not perform?
So
Are you
you're
just
basically
using?
saying you're questioning whether she's an honest person.
Yes.
But this is the thing though. Being a side piece doesn't make you honest or dishonest. She came out and said, I would see if she was like, that wasn't me on the tape. And it's like, bitch, we hear you clearly. She came out and said, yeah, I did say that. Because X,
And
Y,
even how
Z.
she handled it, though, come.
No, what I'm saying is, the point that I'm making is you're talking about her being honest or dishonest. And to me, I'm saying she didn't do anything honest or dishonest in this situation. She was being sneaky.
It just came out.
Right, it just
Okay.
came out, but she owned it. But let me say this. What you're talking about to me is a character flaw, quote unquote, right?
Mhm.
Because we know, like, when it comes to, we can always say, like, oh, well, you do this, you that. If somebody does this to you, that doesn't mean that. You turn the other cheek, all the things, right? So we can say a person of good character is going to always have good character no matter what positions they're put in. So if you're a good person, even if this person acts like an ass to you, you still very much are going to remain as a
And
good
we know
person.
that's not always true.
Exactly, because sometimes we slip up and it's like, I'm frustrated, but who you show yourself to be regularly is
It's
who
who you
your
are.
character is,
Mhm.
right? So this is her first time where it's like, hold on, bitch.
But can we, all I'm saying is, because you're right, I'm saying, can we not, are we wrong for like now having skepticism? Like, for example, like women, well, I've been on a podcast and I'm like, man, I can't trust a nigga that cheat on his girl, because if you cheat on your girl, then what you gonna do with me? Like, that's the closest person to you. And you know what women do? Yeah, oh my God, he's so right. So now, when it's flipped, it's something different? Because now I'm like,
flipped. She's not cheating on nobody.
But if you can, woman, let's think about woman, like this whole girl era, right? And this era that we in, that woman support woman, right? If you can be okay with being a side chick, knowing that this man have a girl, when you wouldn't want that done to you, what else could you do? So if I can say, if a man, because no, let's be fair. If I come out here, because nigga will say pandering, so I'm saying let's spade a spade. If I come out here like, man, I don't trust these niggas, man, because if you cheat on your girl, then you're a dirty. You'll do something dirty to me. All the women like, yeah, at least see they speaking because da. So now when I see it on a woman, I'm like, well, if she can do that, can she not do this?
Well, that's the thing though. I feel like it's different though, because
why is it different?
I'm about to tell you why. I feel like it's different because you're talking about questioning somebody's loyalty and how they move towards somebody that they care about. She's not being disloyal to anybody, nor is she hurting anybody she cares about. I feel like that's the difference.
Does she not care about women? She should.
Clearly not. If we talking about like what? I mean, but it's not even that. You talking about, for me, the difference is you talking about her being a hypocrite as opposed to her being disloyal and hurtful to someone she cares about. Because cheating on someone is totally different than cheating with someone. Because when you're cheating with someone, you're cheating with somebody that I don't owe you shit. Not that people feel like, but it's like, I don't know you, so I don't know who I'm hurting. I don't know what I'm hurting or how bad it'll hurt. I don't even know if it's allowed. I don't know. Regardless, the situation, and I think in that situation, she like, your girl know you cheat, so whatever. It ain't hurting her. She gonna be all right. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's what she said. That's what she said. I'm not defending it. We're just. But I'm saying the difference. Right. I'm trying to give you the difference. The difference to me is, even because we could leave it on women. Mm-hmm. As a woman, if you cheat on your nigga, then I'm looking at you crazy because I'm like, girl, what the fuck? If you cheat on your nigga,
but
that's somebody.
What a nigga that's cheating on a chick, then. Okay.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying that it's two different things is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So if I have a friend and she cheats on her nigga, I'm going to be like, first of all, you disloyal and you dishonest. I'm not fucking with that. I would feel like you could then cause me harm too because you care about the nigga. This a nigga you claim to love. This nigga you let into your body. Mm-hmm. Like this somebody you share space with, you share a life with. What you going to do to me? Yes, that's how I would see that, right? But for somebody who her to be sleeping with somebody else's man, I don't know that person. You don't know that person. I don't see it the same in terms of you're not crossing somebody that you love and care about. So I'm not thinking you would cross me because you operating in that space. You get what I'm saying?
I also kind of compartmentalize and like separate things, if that makes sense. So I don't necessarily feel like if my friend cheats on her boyfriend, then she's just going to automatically be disloyal to me. Like I can never trust her again. I kind of look at it as like an isolated situation, like because I'm not that man, right? Like you didn't cheat on me, right? And so I also kind of look at decisions for what they are. It's hard for me to like say this one decision taints all of you, unless it was like, OD, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think it's kind of hard to say because it's like we don't know all the intricacies with Summer. We don't know all the things that she's been doing. This is not me trying to like validate her because again, listening to the tape was very like, oh, girl, sister.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Like, sister. Like, and then it was the rain. It was the drama. It was like, oh, my God. But it's like, I mean, like I said earlier, sometimes when you have been dogged out a lot,
so that's
like you become the dog.
But as a woman in Jamila, out of all people, that thought process isn't dangerous because as a man, if I'm like, well,
it is dangerous.
No, I'm saying like that ain't me. Well, he ain't. You come to me and you like,
she said not my backyard.
Yeah, you come to me and I'm like, well, he ain't do that to me, or and he was a foul nigga to some woman, or he was a foul nigga to you. You like now you looking at me differently too, cause like, huh?
Because you are the company you keep.
And you don't stand up for this, you don't step up for this, but because it wasn't you won't be like, he don't like women either.
I mean, yeah.
But you can be a woman and be like, that's an isolated situation. That's kind of crazy.
No, I'm saying I'm saying it's a case by case situation is what I'm saying.
It's only case by case when it's beneficial to the woman?
No. I think it's case by case for anybody. Like, I'm not like, let me hear, like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, what happened? What was the thing? And yes, there's a limit. And I think that's okay to say that sometimes we contradict ourselves. Like, we're people. We are all hypocritical. We're going to contradict ourselves. There are relationships. There's biases that happen. That's real. And sometimes it's okay to say, yeah, I forgive my best friend for doing something bad because that's my best friend and I love her and I'm going to give her more grace than some random bitch I don't know. That's valid too. So and I don't want that to like not be said. Like,
so do we look at Summer Walker differently or no?
I personally don't, only because I think her music has always been very vulnerable in the sense that like I never got from her that like I'm the most perfect lady. I never got that. And so I think she always kind of laid out the framework to say that like I make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I be with some bullshit. And I also, get my feelings hurt. Like, and I think that made it more honest and vulnerable to where it's like, I don't expect Summer Walker to be perfect. Versus if she had a pristine image, then I think it would be different.
I don't necessarily, I think for me, I've never really like looked at.
Yeah, when she's not somebody that you look at it like.
Yeah, but I will say like if I'm thinking about like if I was to consider and really think about like who she is and if I was to consider like her as a person and stuff, I'm like, she hang out with Sexy Red and Suki. I would have never been like, oh, she's like cookie cutter, person. Also
I just
feel
don't like.
She was a stripper at one point in time. I don't feel like she's.
But that's my thing. I don't. And again, I'm trying to be like careful, but at the same time, I don't like people that play like. I've seen her cry a lot. And I'm not saying people can't cry, but I've seen her cry a lot about like how people like being mistreated by the people and the fans, and it's like I don't like that when you're doing this.
Well,
why?
Well, that's fine. You don't have to like it, but it's life, and also
there's duality though,
right? And this is a one-off.
We having shitty days too.
And you talking about what you talking about, like crying for other people or a lot of times it's bullying, or it's like 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000, millions of people versus this one incident.
I think my thing is like, so again, I like her music, and I honestly never gave a fuck, and I think she would have won the people if her response wasn't her response. Because her response is really like, so what?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
if her response was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man, like, I was down bad, or like, like, I ain't gonna lie. If she would have had that response, I would have been like,
that's real.
Yeah,
but
you feel me? That's real.
I will also say.
But it was really like, what y'all call them? Mean girl energy. It was like, it gave mean girl energy.
Can we also say that also, this is the entertainment industry, and we can judge, and the point of it is for people to talk. She did just drop an album.
On God.
And this is also the energy of the album.
On
so
God.
It very well could have been something that was prepared for it. It could have been she standing on what the fuck she said in her music. It could be looked at in so many ways.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I'm not judging. I really rarely ever be judging these people because I don't fucking know these people.
Sometimes it helps. Kind of like with Cardi B.
I'm gonna say with Cardi,
because a lot of shit that was happening wasn't necessarily a part of the album rollout, but it showed it worked. It showed work for it. So it's like,
yeah.
That's what I was talking about on the album. Go listen to it. I told you all that.
So why not? Finally over it out now, bitch.
That's a fact.
You gotta
go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, Monte.
Hudson Grill, downtown.
Go ahead, man. We'll see you later, bro.
Go ahead and get a new stalker. Keep playing. Going up to these bars.
No, just keep right there. It's fine, bro. I'll see you later, bro.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
All right, dog. See you later.
Have a good day.
So, all right, let's move on. Damn, I'm stuck with the woman.
Damn, I'm stuck with the women.
We finna bully
First of all,
the woman's.
We gonna take care of you.